These three words, which tap into human psychology, added 2.1 million a year to a supermarket giant. Today, I'll reveal exactly what those words are and how you can ethically copy them for your own business. So here's the situation. Sainsbury's is one of the UK's largest supermarket chains, and they sell a delivery pass. You pay once on this delivery pass and you get unlimited grocery deliveries for the rest of the year. Pretty handy, right? Before they made their Persuasion tweaks, Sainsbury's had around 316,000 customers signed up, bringing in roughly 20 million a year just from this delivery pass. Then they updated their webpage to this and changed just a handful of words across it. What was the result? The result was an extra 30,000 subscribers, which is an extra £120,000 a month and over 2.1 million a year in added revenue. So this looks like a pretty simple web page, but it has some absolute magic going on in it, persuasive magic. What exactly did they change and why did it work? The first principle they used is something called loss aversion. And here's the exact headline that they chose to change with loss aversion. You see this writing up here, save up to £168 per year and pay no delivery charges. Notice something clever in the way this is presented. They're not saying gain an extra £168 per year. They're framing it as avoiding losing £168. And this matters because research shows humans feel losses about twice as intensely as gains. If you tell someone they're about to lose money, they will fight harder to avoid it than they would to gain the same amount. It's very powerful stuff, loss aversion is. Next up, we have something called anchoring. Sainsbury's tapped into anchoring. They started with a really large number up here, £168, and that is just positioned right above the smaller numbers down here, like 7, 43, 80. After seeing £168, those smaller payments here instantly feel like a bargain. And this is persuasive psychology as well. So think about how often we do this to ourselves by looking at anchoring and how often we let it affect ourselves. You probably can't think of an example off the top of your head, but have you ever spent £5 on a coffee shop latte or cappuccino without batting a single eyelid, then stood in the supermarket the very next day debating over whether you pay £3 versus £6 for a whole jar of coffee, which would probably make you 40 different coffees? I know I do all the time. It's irrational, but it's human nature driven by anchoring. Up next, we have the third persuasion technique. Have you managed to see it on this page yet? It is something called a risk reversal in the form of a strong guarantee. So if we scroll all the way down here, we can see delivery pass guarantee. And they added this promise. We guarantee you won't be out of pocket. If you don't save enough to cover the cost of your delivery pass, we'll send you a voucher for the difference. This is very powerful stuff here. It removes the worry of getting locked into yet another subscription. I'm sure you're like me, you have a bunch of different subscriptions. Half of the time, you don't realize you got a bunch of different subscriptions. You got your Amazon Prime, your Spotify, you got your Netflix. If you run a business like me, you probably have 20 subscriptions that are business related, and it's just hard to keep track of it. And the problem is now, every time we hear something is part of a subscription, we roll our eyes and we instantly think, not another subscription. And Sainsbury's very cleverly removes that barrier. So in uncertain times, particularly like the economy that we're in now, people hesitate to commit to extra expenses. This guarantee says, you can't really lose, we'll make sure it's worth it, even if it's not initially worth it. If you combine these three simple principles, loss aversion, anchoring, risk reversal, you add them to your business, you're going to be doing pretty good. And the result is clear in this case here, 10% increase in revenue from a single carefully written web page. This stuff isn't complicated. You can apply these exact persuasion tactics to your own pricing pages, your email offers, or your sales copy. just by copying something like this. The whole point of behavioral science, the whole point of persuasion, and how I consult for companies when I do it, I aim to just do the smallest thing which causes the biggest impact on it. So if you found this video useful, feel free to hit subscribe, because I will break down even more results coming up on how persuasion, on how behavioral science, and how psychology has been used to grow businesses. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.